Hello, Search here for the backyard driving range. All right. I got this letter that came in, and it goes, Dear Don, I have reviewed your many dailies, read your basic book, taken lessons from your fine people at Old South, and purchased wonderful clubs from Doc Griffin. I still have a problem putting your theories into proper use. I simply lack power. After much thought, I think it may be tempo. In watching your intros to your dailies, is your swing you start with your actual tempo? Yes, it is. I think I may suffer from too slow a tempo by being too much involved in all your many tips. Sometimes I try to mimic your tempo as shown in your instruction videos. Okay, the first question is it my normal swing? Now, I asked to make sure to the editor that we send this to that normally when I start this video, I'm going to take a practice swing to feel the swing, and then I'm going to walk in and swing the feel. But I think you can see there was two totally different swings there as far as speed goes. All right. So the swing when I hit the ball is always just about what would be my normal swing with this club, a 7-iron, or if I hit any other club here, when I hit any other club. All right, if I'm basically hitting a full shot. Okay, but when I practice swing, as you all know, I have this concept that I talk about. Perfect practice makes perfect, right? A pianist or any musician that's practicing something for a concert only practices it perfectly. All right. And they don't allow for if they miss somewhere in a note or something in the program, they go back usually to the beginning and start over. Well, the golf swing should be that way, and nothing drives me more off the edge is when I see golfers, especially golf pros, they do stuff like this and they take a practice swing, and I even see baseball players doing that. I mean, who swings like that? All right. And so, but I know some guys are just some. I guess we'd have to say they're just making movement for the sake of making movement to get rid of tension and everything else and just feel movement. But I think that I'm adamant. I'm adamant about it. I've preached it to DJ his whole life, and anybody who's come to golf schools with me and taken especially private lessons with me knows that I'm adamant about perfect setup means a perfect grip, perfect everything, posture. Take a good practice swing and hit it. Oh, how about that one? All right. So, as you can see, I got down here pretty good, but I never take a full bore practice swing. I'm only going to swing it about 50-60%. Why? But I'm going to have good muscle engagement. I'm going to make sure I got a fairly firm grip and good muscle engagement, and I'm going to make a good swing. And I'm big about doing that because I want to feel it. And the number one thing I'm always wanting to feel is I don't have to think about 3/4 or too big a turn. I mean, that's in my DNA now. I don't ever have to think about that. What I'm really trying to feel is getting to my finish, the recoil and relax to get to the finish. And so I have the overall feeling of the swing, which is when I like what I want, then I walk up and I make that swing now with more complete engagement of my muscles and the speed of what I'm going to do with the swing. I'm particularly pay attention to that when I have uneven lies, whether it be like, I don't know if you've all figured it out, but there's a little bit of a downslope right here. So questions have come in. Yes, right below the mat here is a board. I got a 1/2-inch board underneath here. It's about a 12-inch by a 1/2-inch board to kind of level me off over here so that the ball's up above. Because if I didn't have that board under there, I basically couldn't keep these balls on here. They would roll off the swing, because this is a fairly consistent downhill. All the water drains from up the top of my backyard down here right down through here into the driveway. So I'm slightly downhill. So I'm always having to really pay attention to good posture here and making sure my balance is correct. And so that's why I usually do take that practice swing beforehand to make sure everything's correct. But my practice swing is below power level, 50-60% at most. But I do have good engagement. I do get in a good posture. Everything is correct the way it's supposed to be, so that when I make that swing and I feel that good practice swing, I guess you all saw I backed up a little bit because I was directly over the ball, and if I did swing down and my arm straightened up, I would have hit it like that first one. So I backed up. Everything's okay. Now I'm going to walk in and I'm going to hit it. And I get into full engagement. And normally most of my full shots are at least 90% power. I'm not that strong, so when I'm really hitting it, I'm pretty much, 90 to 94% power. So I'm hitting a full shot in that opening scene in every one of these dailies, all right? And hopefully I'm going to ask them to make sure they leave a couple more of those warm-up swings so you can see that at least the swing I'm making in that practice swing is going to be the same swing I'm going to make, but energized up and naturally with more speed. And I think it's going to be obvious. You'll be able to see the difference in the speed of the club in my hands and arms swinging, okay? So that's important because, I mean, I can stand here and swing at different speeds, and I'm sure you'll be able to see it. The eye can recognize that. So the big issue here is again, your tempo is the rhythm and the speed at which you swing a golf club. And this is Eric Schwartz who wrote that in, and Eric said to me, should I try to mimic your tempo as shown in your instruction videos? I'm going to say maybe. But remember, tempo is based on, say to speak, your inner mechanism, your inner, how your brain functions and your body functions. I mean, as you all know, I tend to talk fairly fast, right? I move fairly fast. I'm a strong type A personality, and so I move fast, I think fast, I talk fast. All right, everything about me is somewhat fast. All right, now this guy's on tour that just kind of amble along and stuff like that, and you see all their mannerisms that their practice swings are slower, and they tend to have more of these longer fluid, more fluid and just smooth looking golf swings, and then you get some other guys and that have much faster swings, and that's in line with their tempo. Like for example, a guy that's somewhat fast and talks, I think he talks even faster than me, is Brandt Snedeker. And you look at his swing, boom. I mean, when he gets on putt, bam, the putt's gone. All right, and so he's fast. And on the other side of the coin, look who had a great year last year, won the PGA Championship. His name escapes me at the moment. But he just ambles along. All right, another one that ambles along, Chad Campbell. Okay. He just ambles along. You see his swing. He's got a little bit more speed to it, but he's always just smooth along. You listen to him talk. He's got that slower southern type drawl, and his talk and his walk are very similar, and his swing is there. All right, so I think your tempo is part of, shall we say, your inner personality, and your inner everything about your timing and who you are and how your natural tendencies are to do things in terms of whatever you do in your life. All right, I'm overall a fast talker, fast walker, going to be relatively a speedier golf swing. So I'll have a little bit faster tempo. Going back years ago, we're still playing successfully on the senior tour, is Nick Price. And now look at Nick Price's swing. Very fast, very quick, great player in the Hall of Fame. Nick Faldo, smoother, slower. He walks slower, he talks slower. Their swing fits their personality. All right? So, I mean, to just go out and say, hey, I like his swing, and I want to try to mimic his personality, I want to try to mimic his swing, his tempo, and everything else. If that is not your tempo, your personality, in other words, if you're trying to swing like a slow talker, slow walker, and slow swinger, and you're a fast talker, fast walker, fast swinger, I think you're going to find you might have a conflict there. So you are what you are, and that's what I think you need to realize. And so basically you can experiment with different tempos, but when you find one that you hit the ball well, meaning you got from takeaway to finish, to impact to finish, everything, you maintain good balance, you got good control of the club, you got good control of your body, you make good solid contact, you hit the ball where you want it, that's kind of what you want to find. But I think you just have to look at yourself. Look at yourself, listen to yourself, and however you talk and walk, that should be the basic tempo you want with your golf swing. Okay? So I think we got a great question here. And again, it's all to know who you are, what you are, and what makes you tick, and that's the way you wanna make sure you got the right tick-tock for the way you tick and talk. Okay? All right. Well, that's it for the search for today on tempo. Tempo is the speed of the swing. Timing is the proper sequential movement of the swing. Tempo is the beat, the rhythm of your swing, the drum beat, boom, boom, or boom, 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 boom. Okay? So when you figure that out, that's what you want to be. And basically a good way to look at it is your speed that you have when you walk and talk and how you do things. Okay? So that's it for tempo today. Beautiful tempo creates beautiful golf shots. Consistent tempo creates consistent golf shots. All right? That's it for the search for today, and I'll be talking with you all again soon.